In this video, I'm going to show you how to make vintage film text effects in Photoshop. Let's go. Before we begin on this super simple tutorial, if you're looking for tips, tricks, hacks, tutorials, design inspiration videos, then make sure you click subscribe and don't forget to hit that notification bell as well to get notified every time I post. So we're going to go ahead and dive into Photoshop 2021 and get started with this tutorial. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new document, and we do that by going to the new document panel here, and I'm going to do my Insta preset that I have saved, which is 3840 by 4800 pixels. Pretty big, but this is what I use for all of my Instagram posts. So we're just going to give this a name. We'll call this film effect. So this is an effect I've been developing over the last few weeks, and I've had a really good response from it. So I just wanted to share it with you so that you knew how to make it as well. So we're going to give this a name. We're going to call this film effect as well. This is just naming our artboard here. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do is, as usual, add some text. So we're going to come in, and now when we're doing film and things that are like 50s and 60s retro, what we want to do is be really careful about the typography we choose. This effect will not work on more modern typography. We need to use some like chunky sans serif fonts and things that were available at the time. So I found a great font called Franklin Gothic. It's pretty popular, but it was used a lot during the 50s and 60s, and so that's what we're going to use here today. So we're going to do Franklin Gothic black, and then we're going to make that just black for now so we can see what we're doing. We're going to make this about this big, and we're just going to just type whatever we need to. Obviously this is your design, so type whatever you want to type, but we're just going to go for film text effects like this, and we'll give it an exclamation mark or an exclamation point if you're from the US. So we're going to do that, center that up, and maybe we'll just add an extra little line just to sell the effect when it's on smaller, thinner fonts. So we'll do the same thing here. Make that a bit smaller, put that underneath like so, and we'll just make that medium. And like I said, Franklin Gothic is great because it's got so many different weights and just works really well. We'll try on that on one line like so. Okay, so we got those two together. We're just going to group those and center them on the artboard so it looks nice and centered and as it should. Okay, so the next step is to start to add our effects. Now, we don't want to do this on a white background because it's kind of, the film effect is luminous, so it kind of has this like light coming out of it look, and so we don't want to do that on a white background because it will get lost. So what you want to do is choose a photo or a darker background where this effect can really shine through. Now I've just gone onto Unsplash and found an image here. And this works quite well because it's pretty dark, but it's also got some nice like film vibes to it. So I'm just going to add that in like so, and then we're going to make sure that that sits behind the text on that artboard. And I'll just name this too so we can see what we're doing. Okay, the next step is to choose our font color. So we're going to go into this group we made, and I'm just going to choose a color. We'll go with white first, and now we're going to start to pull this back. Now you can choose to have this different tints or different kind of shades. I'm going to go for a white, but a kind of off-white that has some kind of pink to it to match that background. So the way to do that is if we go to our color picker here, we're just going to move this slider up to have some kind of pinkiness to it. And then we're just going to drag this color picker over until we've got this sort of, yeah, like this off-white pink here. Like I said, choose any color you want, but you want to kind of keep it in this area. So no matter what hue you do, it just has a tiny bit of the color in it, but it's not too much. So I'm going to choose that pink. Okay, so now we can see this is kind of off-white, but it's not too distracting. It's not like a really contrasting and nasty color. Okay, so the next step is to double click on the group we just made. And we're going to add something called an inner shadow. And we click on this. Now, first thing to do is choose the color that we had before. So use your color picker and select the color in the middle of the text. So now it should just look like normal. And now what we're going to do is, using this color picker here, we're going to start to bring this more saturated. So we're going to slide this in a little bit more. And what you'll start to see is the edges of the text are now kind of like fringed in this like sort of more saturated color. This is what we're looking for. So find something that's not too obvious, but still you can just about see the effect. So I think that's about right. Now I've got the distance set to 0, I've got the choke set to 2, and size is 40. And then I've got the contour set to the regular option. So I click OK. And so now you can see that we've got this slight color fringing here, and it's starting to look a little bit vintage, but obviously we're not finished yet. So the next step is to right click on that group, click Convert to Smart Object. And we're gonna be doing this a couple of times. Okay, the next step is to add something called a minimum effect. And now what this does is just chunkifies everything up a little bit. It helps to round off some of those corners as well. So we're going to filter, down to other, and then to minimum. And you can do something like radius 1.3. Now this may change depending on the size of your artboard, but for the artboard we've got set up here, a low number like 1.3 works pretty well. And we're going to click preserve roundness as well. So it's not an obvious thing, but what we can see is that it's slightly thickened up the font, just rounded some of those corners slightly, and just helps to sell the effect. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to right click, convert to smart object again. And now what we're going to do is add a glow. So double click, go to outer glow, and then we're going to choose the color from inside again. So we're not choosing that color fringe on the outside, we're choosing the color in the center of the text. So I've got my opacity set to 100, I've got it blend mode on normal, I've got noise down to 0, spread on 0, size on 16, the technique is softer, and then I've got the contour as normal, range up to 100%, and jitter down to 0. So this just gives us, as you can see in the preview here, just this very faint glow from the outside. This isn't the entire glow we're going to use, this just helps to soften everything up. So we've now softened that up, we've got it slightly thicker, we've got that colour fringing around the edges, and now we're going to add the piece that really does make it look like film effect. So we're going to turn that into another smart object, so there's no more effects underneath. So then what we're going to do is click on this layer here, and then hit Command J, or Control J if you're using a Windows machine. So now we've got two duplicated layers in the same place. Then we're going to select the top layer, go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and we're going to bring this right up to like 15 pixels. I've chosen 14.8 because that's kind of what works. And now you can see we've got this like blooming effect where it's not like an entire glow where it goes around the very edge of the text, but everything's starting to look a little bit bloomed and a little bit overexposed. That's kind of what it looks like on film. So you can adjust this depending on how thin and intricate your font is. You may want to dial this back a bit, but for big, thick font like Franklin here, this works really well. I'm going to pull back some of that opacity just so it's shining through, but not too intense. So go to something like 90%. Okay, and then we're going to go Shift on both those layers, right click, convert to smart object. And now those two layers are linked together and they're one piece. So one thing you can do to really add to this effect is make the whole thing black and white. I don't normally do this because I like color in my designs, but if you do this, it really, really does look like it's from a vintage film. So the way to do that is come down to here and we're going to make a new adjustment, and we're going to choose black and white. So you can now see that the way that the font is kind of blooming and overexposed, it really does start to look like it's on a piece of film from the 1950s. You can do that, you can use black and white. I'm going to stick with normal colors here. And I'm also just going to add some vibrance to help, just to make that a bit more saturated and vibrant, like so. And then maybe your background's a little bit too bright. Well, what you can do is just peg that back with an exposure layer. So again, we're going to do a new adjustment, go to exposure, and we're just going to dial back the exposure slightly. This just helps separate the text from the background. So there we go. It looks pretty much like film. All we're going to do is just pass a noise layer over the top just to help seal everything in and make it all look like it's one cohesive piece. And then we're pretty much done. So I'm going to make a new layer here, go to our ellipses down here, go to Paint Bucket tool. We're going to make sure we're on fully black in that color picker there, and then we're just going to click on the artboard here, and then we're going to go to Filter, Noise, Add Noise, and I normally do something like 40%, Monochromatic and Gaussian Distribution, and then click OK. And then we go to over to our blend modes, and then we're going to go down to Linear Dodge Add, and we're going to really pull that back to like 30%. And now we've got some grain over the top, which just helps the text and the background settle in. So there you have it, vintage film text effects in Photoshop, and it really is as simple as those steps. If you've designed something using this tutorial, then please tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see it. It always is inspiring to see what you guys come up with. And if you've enjoyed this video, then make sure you leave a like. It really does go a long way to helping this channel, and consider subscribing for plenty more videos like this to come. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.